Okay, I'm going to start the meeting and read an email that I received from Ann Basinius, who was hoping to be here tonight, but unfortunately something came up. So she said that she would like to designate Dan Murray as the vice chair because he has a lot of ZBA experience. So Dan will be running the meeting in Ann's absence. So Dan, if you want to officially call the meeting to order.
Okay, it's 7:02 and we are calling this meeting to order. And we come to appointment to alternates to voting status. I don't think that's necessary. We don't have any in the ranks today, do we? Or do we?
Justin is.
Justin is, excellent. But I think, did you not recuse yourself, Justin?
Yeah, I'll be recused from 5.1, so.
Okay. Then if that's the only thing that we're
Want to call the roll?
covering. Okay, I'll call the roll. Fill in the last names for me. Ann Basinius is not here. Nick Downs, John Johnson, Steve Penner, and Justin, your last name I forgot. Potter. There we go. Yes, it's right up there for me. I'm trying to look at notes here as I'm fumbling, so bear with me. What is this? Acceptance of revision of agenda. How's that go? Donna?
So we just need a motion to either accept the agenda as presented or to revise it.
Okay, do I hear such a motion?
So moved.
So you're going to move to accept as written? Nick?
Yeah,
Nick, are you
are
saying?
there any changes? I didn't hear any changes being made. So I would move to accept as written.
Okay, second.
Okay. Second,
Thanks, Steve. Next agenda item is the reading and the approval of the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from our last meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I
So we're going to recess the meeting at 7:04 and convene the hearing. And at this point in time, the applicant can come forward and present their application. I don't know, Gary, if you're going to do that or if the other Gary is going to do that.
The plan was for Gary Thompson to take the lead on this. I believe he's on.
I don't see him.
I have him
think
in the
it's-
bottom corner.
Okay.
All right, well, while we're waiting for Gary Thompson, the application is for the construction of an exterior deck with a hot tub and a storage area within the setback area. One of the things that Anne had said to me when she called me to tell me that she wasn't going to be here tonight was that she was a little bit confused on the orientation and was wondering if it would be possible to table the application to July so that we could create or set up a site walk at the property to get a better idea of where the actual encroachment will be. So,
Do you have me on here now, Donna?
yes, I can see you.
Okay, great.
So anyway, so that was Anne's request. So I'm throwing it out there and you guys will have to decide what you want to do. So, but Gary, if you want to go ahead and present.
Yeah, so what I also submitted to Donna was some video and some photos of the property. So you get a good idea of what is going on in the area surrounding the deck that we're proposing to put in. We're actually looking to encroach on the setback, the 30-foot setback, where it's actually listed as open space as for the HOA when they did the original subdivision.
Who owns the open space?
I believe that is part of the HOA.
Okay. So that's HOA meaning,
The homeowners association of the subdivision.
interesting, okay.
I'm gonna share what Gary had sent to me, and then I have a couple of pictures that I can share. I tried to figure out how to share the video and I was not able to do that. But I do have some pictures that I can actually put up. So this is the site plan that was presented. Trying to get it so that you can actually see it. So I'm assuming that this road here is the road that comes up from Route 7.
That is correct.
This is Saddle Ridge Road.
That
That
is
is-
correct, yes.
And then the entrance to the actual subdivision or the actual cul-de-sac would be somewhere in and around here.
Exactly, yep. And there are 4 houses on that little Lee Circle cul-de-sac, we'll call it, yes.
Okay. So this is the shape of the deck.
Yes, those
Of-
lines
of-
right there, that is where we're trying to put the deck, right in between that's an attached garage on the left and the main house is on the right. Exactly.
Okay, and then, so from this property line to the garage is 31.7 feet. What
Correct.
is the distance from this here to here?
And we are actually coming out, I believe at that point, it is 15 feet.
So when you pull into the cul-de-sac, what you would see is a straight shot, because the driveway goes out this way, I'm assuming, right?
The driveway goes right out there, right? We're set back about, as you can see, about halfway back on that garage. There are 2 right to the left of that deck where right
this-
in that area, there's 2 air conditioning units there now. And we come in just about 2 feet in behind those air conditioning units.
Right, so you guys have a vision of this, and I'm gonna share the picture. Okay? So this is off of Lee Circle
Yep,
here,
and that's the start of the driveway right there. Exactly. Yep.
and then what you're looking at is this area in here.
Exactly. That would be the edge of the deck. Correct.
I'm gonna stop this one. And
So it's right in this area here, just beyond those air conditioning units toward that other smaller, that 4-foot by about 16-foot deck that's currently there. We'll be taking that down and that will be the area right there where the deck will be installed.
now the footings that are here already,
That is the furthest points out on that deck. Just in front of the footing where that little pile of dirt is. Just behind that, come a little bit closer to the bottom of the screen where that grass area is, right there. From there back, that's where the hot tub will be. Right in that area right there. And then the deck is from there back to the house.
and how far out past the edge of the house does it come?
It does not come out at all beyond the edge of the house. Nothing projects any further than that. It comes out parallel with the back of that house right there for a point of about 17 feet, and then it angles back in toward the garage. And then becomes parallel with the back of the garage at that point in time.
And then, so what are these footings for?
That is, it's a little deceiving the way you're looking at that right now. That is actually parallel with the back of that house. I know it looks like it's further out from the way the shot is here, but. Yeah, nothing ever projects any further out than the back of that house there. We either run parallel with the back of the garage or we run parallel with the main house itself.
You want me to go back to the site plan?
Do you have a picture? You should have a shot there of the deck construction.
We have to dig that out of the file. So just give me 1 second.
Does it help if I hold it like this? Can you see that or not really?
Just give me 1 second.
Sure. There you go.
Okay.
So there you can see that green line, that dotted line, that shows you where we go beyond the 30-foot setback.
So the corner of that house is right at 30 feet.
It's right there. Yeah, they just snuck that house in there when they put that in. None of this is visible at all to any adjoining neighbors. It's only visible at all from that open space area.
Well, you would be able to see it from Lee Circle though, right?
You can see it a little bit from Lee Circle from the street, yes. All the other houses are set back so far off Lee Circle that it's not visible from any other homes though, really.
What are the,
Just out of curiosity, how big's the open space area?
Trying to see if I have that in my folder.
It's 25,000 square feet approximately.
Okay, good. Thanks, Gary.
So it's not quite an acre. Is that what you're saying?
It's about a half, well, an acre would be 40,000,
Yeah, so it's almost a half, it's just a half an acre?
a little over half an acre. It's wooded, it's a steep hill, undeveloped. And it's, the site is visible from Lee Circle for about 25 feet of frontage adjacent to my driveway, but not otherwise even from Lee Circle.
There's actually a large planting in the center of Lee Circle. Which unfortunately, we're not able to get that video that I had sent over.
Yeah, I can't figure out how to share that.
What are the two double doors being shown on the plan?
It's just to create a little storage area to be able to put some patio furniture and cushions and those kinds of things in, off the main deck, just to utilize that little triangular area in there. It just becomes a storage room.
There'll be a roof built over that?
No, there's no roof over it. Just to kind of screen and store stuff back there. Keep the just miscellaneous items back in there. There's no roof over it though, no.
Okay.
Are you gonna have anything underneath the deck? Are you putting mechanicals or anything underneath there for the hot tub?
No, the mechanicals are contained within the hot tub. The only thing that's that will be in the framing will just be the electrical line coming out to power the unit. And that's it. The rest of it's going to be actually screened in, as you see underneath there. Just there could be a little additional storage underneath of there, but just trying to keep it clean and neat looking underneath of there.
So we don't have like a defined distance from the property line to the closest point, really, at this point, right?
Well, I can give you that exact dimension. It's 16, the deck comes off the back of that garage, 16 feet, 3 inches. Where currently, I think we're a foot, I believe it's about 1.7 feet off the corner of the garage. So we're encroaching about 15 feet there at the worst case scenario, down to the far right where it joins the house, where we're at 0 encroachment because the house is pretty much right at the 30 feet now. So at most we encroach about 15 feet into the 30-foot setback. So we would be about 15 feet from the property line at the worst case scenario. After that, we just get further and further away from the property line.
And the owners are part of this homeowners association of Saddle Ridge it is?
Yeah, am I correct on that, Gary?
Yes, this is part of Saddle Ridge Farm Association. And the owner is part of that association. As is the adjacent space, undeveloped land. It's part of Saddle Ridge Farm Association.
Do they have to vote on this unanimously?
No, the board has to approve it, and they have.
The board has approved it.
Yes.
But was the board approached at all about any kind of a lot line adjustment to put you in conformity? Make our job a little easier, or?
No, that'd be time consuming. There's a bigger story that I don't want to bore you with, but this whole development was built by a developer that ran out of money before he could do everything properly at the end. And one of the things he neglected to do at the end was do the final survey. So the property lines are somewhat irrational here as well as in other places. Like this property line as drawn goes directly through my backyard as recognized for decades in the development. Probably would have been adjusted had they done the standard final survey for the development, which was never done.
And this open space is part of other open space areas that the development oversees. So this is not the only chunk of open space part of Saddle Ridge, but if I understand correctly.
That is correct.
I'm a little confused, and you may have answered it just a minute ago. When I look at the original plot plan, I guess, for Lot 2, the drawing that has the contour lines on it, it looks like the building envelope just touches the house on its southwest corner. And then the garage on the front of the garage, it doesn't look like you're near a lot line, but is that now you're saying that because it wasn't surveyed, that this original plot plan is incorrect? Yeah, that's the one, Donna.
Right.
That dotted line is the building envelope, I assume, Donna?
Yeah,
This, I believe that, my interpretation of this, I mean, I'm not a surveyor and I haven't had a surveyor out, is that this is an earlier rendition of the plan, and the garage is not at that angle to the main part of the house now, so that this plan was revised before the house was built.
Okay, I will ignore that building envelope then. But while we're here, what's the interval for the contour lines on this? How steeply does it drop off in the back of the house?
It doesn't drop off terribly steeply within the property proper. There's about a 3-foot difference in elevation from the front of the house to our area where we're working, and then it slowly slopes off probably another 3 feet or so to the back of the property line, and then it drops off drastically down into that open space area.
Right, what are those contour intervals, do you know?
I don't know if they are on the print. I would say, looking at it, eyeing it, it's probably a foot per line,
I'm thinking 2 feet maybe, but yeah, in that range then.
somewhere in there, yeah.
And I know I saw the septic area somewhere.
It's over on the south side of the house. There's a septic tank, and then all the septic fields are actually across the street, across from Convoy Heights, and it's a common septic field area,
Right.
whole subdivision. So the septic is down on the south side and the well is up on the north side. And Torrington Health has already given us approval for the location of the deck as we're proposing.
want me to stop sharing the screen, or do you want to look at something else?
Did they get the aerial that I'd done, Gary, do you know?
Did they get what?
I think I'd sent you an aerial that had my markings on it. I don't know, that's not the one I sent though. It's a standard one. They may not have gotten that.
Yeah, maybe not.
It's just something I showed you. You can kind of see the area here.
Exactly. There's a good shot of where that deck would be
It blew that up.
in that shadowed area, and you can see Lee Circle clearly there with the planter in the middle of Lee Circle. As you can see, there's no, all the adjoining properties, the houses are set further back, quite a ways back. So there's very minimal impact to any type of street view. There's no impact to any adjoining neighbors. It's only the impact onto that open space that we would be now within about 15 feet of the property line.
So as you saw, that's a expansion and replacement of an existing deck to something bigger with a hot tub. There's no other place adjoining the house where it would be at all appropriate to put any kind of deck. It's either elevation a little too hilly, or there's a septic tank on one side, or of course you would not put a deck and a hot tub in the front yard. And there's a driveway on the other end. If the property lines were where they were, where the community seems to think they were, and where they are represented as being in the sale of the house, this wouldn't be an issue. It's be farther away, but the property line actually goes directly, it kind of bisects what's been long time recognized as a backyard.
And you said the association won't give you an adjustment of any kind?
I haven't really gone through that. That would involve months of surveyor work and talking and meetings, and I've been trying to get this built for a long time anyway. I'm not sure that they would or would not. I know that they don't object to doing it the way it stands.
Isn't this open space overseen by a land trust? Or is that another portion of this development?
This is, to my knowledge, the development has 3 or 4 open spaces, and this is the only one that is not overseen by a land trust. And it's not really, probably because it's not really developable, because most of it is a steep hill.
And I think it's too small of a piece anyway, being only a half an acre.
Yeah. But the Saddle Ridge Farm Association intends to maintain it as open space, undeveloped.
What is the square footage of the deck? I know it's here somewhere, but of the proposed deck.
Yeah, it is. I think we're at about 550 square feet approximately.
That includes the hot tub.
Yeah,
The area, there's sort of a walkway between the garage and the hot tub. Excluding that, the odd shaped piece coming directly out of the doors from the house. If I'm reading things right, that's roughly, say, say 13 by 15 or,
Somewhere in there, yeah, yeah, roughly, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, 13 by 15, 3, yep.
okay.
And it actually steps down, as you can see where that hot tub area is, to kind of go with the contours of the land. We step that down, so it makes it even less visible from the street, if you really even see that part from the street. There's so much, vegetation in that area.
The hot tub steps down is sunken. The deck itself steps down?
Yeah, the deck itself in that hot tub area steps down 16 inches.
Yeah.
So the main deck is 8 inches lower than the elevation of the first floor, and then we step down again into that hot tub area.
Okay. I don't know where the conversation goes from here.
We're just looking to get that, just being allowed to encroach into that 30-foot setback area.
Right. No, I mean with the discussion for the board, yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna stop. sharing.
Are there any further questions?
That's where we go. No discussion
Yeah.
until we, yeah, okay.
Okay, so I think we,
Yes. So what
It would be.
is you'll, if there's no further questions, we'll close the hearing. And then the commission will get an opportunity to discuss and make their motion as to whether or not they approve or do not. So whoever
If,
wants to speak, go for it.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Obviously, it's up to you, but if it's possible to make a decision tonight, to approve this tonight, that would be much better. There's been a lot of delays, and I won't bore you with the details, but been trying to get this built for years, but I understand your concerns. To me, it's fairly straightforward, but I understand that looking at diagrams and aerials, it may not be as easy to visualize.
okay, I think we can recess the meeting and close the hearing rather, and
Dan, I do have just one more thought.
yes, yes.
I'm trying to remember how much of the house I can see coming up Saddle Ridge Road. Once I make the left sweep coming off of Route 7, come up that straight stretch. I don't remember if the house is visible or not.
It is
The-
hardly visible. Unfortunately, we're not able to show you those videos that we took. It is very difficult to see this house from, you see it on the southern side as you're coming up Saddle Ridge. You can see the southern exposure of the house. You really don't see the front or the north or the west at all from Saddle Ridge.
Right. I made a quick drive-by today and I saw that from Lee Circle. It's really from, and the upper part of Saddle Ridge Road, it's difficult to see. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you, Dan.
Very good. Then we will close the hearing, take a brief recess if necessary. And gentlemen, you're welcome to listen, but you can't take part in the further discussions. And do we need a recess? Is everyone good to go?
Yeah.
All right, 7:38, let's reconvene the meeting. Do I hear any action on the appeal?
Just my knowledge of this development was that they were purposely trying to create very small lots and group houses together and try to conserve as much open space as possible. And you can kind of see that they really kind of limited these houses to as small envelope as possible. I mean, this house is really only on a little bit over half an acre and it's really sandwiched in there. So I do feel it's kind of a bit of a hardship that was created by just the original subdivision plan that was approved years ago and the developer's kind of vision for this. So that's basically what I know about Saddle Ridge, the cluster development.
I might also add that disappointment in the use of a property does not constitute an exceptional difficulty, and it's in situations like this that it depends how much latitude you want to throw into the definition of hardship. I've always tended to lean towards the property owner, towards the, but again, is this lot so exceptional and different than others that we should award a variance? I don't know.
Just in terms of visual impact, this is probably the least impactful area. It would be fairly low to the ground, at least currently screened from Lee Circle and from Saddle Ridge Road. I'm trying to visualize the alternative, which would be off the south, where the ground slopes off. From that point of view, and I suppose as a former builder, this location makes sense.
Now, I
Also,
didn't get to see it as you did. I'm sorry. John, I didn't see it as you did, but I get the feeling that it would be in harmony with the general purpose of regulations if we were to approve.
I think I would agree with that, Dan. The screening from Lee Circle is sooner or later dies, is ephemeral, but I would expect that in the future, every owner would want to screen the hot tub from Lee Circle anyway. There's no impact on neighbors.
I mean, for me, I look at it as what are the, why do we have setback regulations? What are their purpose? And I think to boil it down to this most simplest terms, it's to not have neighbors impact other neighbors negatively with construction too close to someone else's house. And in this instance, you know, it has no impact whatsoever on any neighbors. It seems like a very natural area to build off this house and have some outdoor living space. And it looks like the house already kind of tries to do this in that area. So it's not like it's introducing a new use for that back area. There's doors and steps going out there already. So I don't see it being much harm personally.
Okay. Any further discussion? Then do I hear a motion?
I would make a motion to accept the proposed deck and spa into the setback area, not to, should we say not to exceed 15 feet from the property line? Which would then require them to do an as-built when done and show Donna that it meets that setback.
And we might add the little more reasoning perhaps for the variance in terms of hardship, location, topography, difficulty in building on other areas of the property. Would you agree?
Yeah, correct. I
Great.
would,
Steve, I think we should get a letter from the homeowners association confirming that they approve it.
can we make my motion contingent upon Donna receiving written approval from Saddle Ridge Homeowners Association,
Right.
verifying that they're okay with this?
I think we can do that.
I
Donna, are you
second
with
that
us?
motion. I second the motion, Dan. As
Very
stated.
good. Now, Donna, help me out. Where do we go from here?
Oh, you just need to call for a vote and see if it's unanimous. And
Very
if it
good.
is,
All right.
then you go to number 8.
One more time, Donna?
I said you call for a motion, call for a vote if it's unanimous. Or if it passes, then we would move on to number 8 on the agenda.
Very good. A vote on the motion. Aye.
Aye.
All 4, is it?
Yes, it is.
John, I didn't hear you.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
it carries.
Aye.
Thank you. Donna, that one contingency has to be put in, and you could do that, right?
Yes.
Very good. All right, on to number 8, whatever it is, because I don't see it.
Okay. I just want to let Gary know that, well, both Garys know that what will happen is the decision will be put in the newspaper. During that period of time, you do have to wait in case there is an appeal. If there's an appeal, then the approval is null and void at that point in time. I will
That's
try.
a 14-day wait period, Donna?
It's a 15-day.
15 days?
So it probably will not go into the newspaper until the 17th. So we're looking at July 2nd. So we'll be issuing the zoning permit as long as I get the letter from the association. I can issue the zoning permit on July 5th. And then you can go in for your building permit after that.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
All
Um,
right.
so number 8 is old business. I don't think we have any. Number 9 is new business. I don't know if anybody has any comments or new business that they want to bring up. I do have, I ordered some Connecticut Zoning Board of Appeal booklets. So the new members, if you're interested, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Or if anybody needs a new one.
Is
Stop
that
by
the
my
6th
office.
edition? Donna, is
sorry?
that the 6th? Is that the 6th edition, this one?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep. Yeah, they
Good.
haven't changed it, so it's still the 6th edition. But since we have new members, if they want them, I have one for John, one for Steve, and Justin. And then
Okay.
I ordered an extra one.
Yes, I would like one.
Okay, all right, so I'll leave them here. If you want to stop by and pick them up, or I can mail them, it's up to you.
I'll pick it up.
Okay.
Donna, can I ask a question, Donna? In the future, can I just swing by the office and pick up the actual letter, or the actual papers of the meeting upcoming?
Oh,
It's pretty
absolutely.
difficult to follow anything without them.
That's fine.
Great.
Yeah, I do
Great.
that for my Inland Wetlands Commission. I have a couple of people who like hard copies. So,
Good.
it's not a problem. So the next thing you've got is your communications, which is the Connecticut Federation of Planning and Zoning Agency newsletters, and there's 3 of them in there. They're always fun to read. If you have, hopefully falling asleep at night. And then the monthly financials from July through April. We'll be turning back money because we haven't had any meetings, so the line for the clerk hasn't really been used. So, we're turning back money for that.
We need to accept them.
Um,
Nah, okay.
I usually just write down, information accepted, no action taken.
Gotcha.
So, that's all I have.
So do we then adjourn the meeting? It is 7:50. The meeting is adjourned. Thanks for bearing with me as I stumbled through this, guys and lady.
Good job, Dan.
You
Well
did a
done,
good job.
Dan.
That's why Don
right.
is there.
That's right.
That's why what? This might be my last meeting, so,
Why is
Don't
that?
say that.
I'm
Where you going?
retiring in September.
Get out of here.
Ah,
What are you gonna do that for?
My husband really wants me to. He's not particularly liking me right about now, so
Uh-oh. Well, you gotta take care of that.
it's time.
Our loss for sure.
Well, I might hang out just to do the ZBA clerk stuff. I don't know. We'll see.
Good. Good.
Town's gonna be lost without you, Donna.
Nah,
Absolutely.
they'll hire somebody who'll do better.
Yeah, right.
Well, you'll have to train them.
Yeah, so I'll be here for a while to do some training.
Great. Great. All right, guys.
Okay,
Thank you. Good night.
all right, enjoy the
Thank you
summer.
and good
if I
night.
don't see you.
I'll see you, Donna, before you go.
Okay,
See ya.
all right, good night, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Take care. Good night.